Welcome back. Now, the government of Namibia is considering introducing a social media ban for children under the age of 15 in an effort to protect young people from online risks such as cyberbullying, harmful content, and excessive screen time. However, some experts warn that restricting access too much could also impact digital learning and online skills, which are becoming increasingly important for education and future careers. So, is social media exposure then worth it because restriction thereof could impact digital learning? Nina, what do you think?
I don't know. I think we live in a digital time, and I don't know if this is a fight worth having because it only gets worse from here, you know. So I don't know if this is a fight worth having, to be honest, and, you know, trying to restrict our children from, you know, having access to social media, because even in schools now, in primary schools, I mean, when you talk 15, you're talking about teenagers that are in high school. But in some primary schools here in this very vintage Namibia, they're already using iPads and stuff like that to do their homework, you know. So we'll get into the polls, because I think that's where the most of my sentiments will align with, I think, what the viewers have to say around this. But yeah, I think it's a losing battle, to be very honest. Yeah. Your thoughts?
It definitely is, Shem.
Yeah.
I agree with you, because as we just said, the world is moving towards a more digital you know, era, and restricting our children now is not really going to be beneficial, because they will have to go, since we are all going with the times, with the era, we are definitely going to have to fall back to these digital platforms.
I think what we can do as parents when they're still young is really like inculcate this behavior around responsible use of social media platforms. I think that's the best that we can do. Teach them that, you know, there are these platforms, and yes, they are nice, but if you don't use them responsibility, there's so many consequences and repercussions that can come from that. So when we teach them that very young, because, you know, as young as they start using these social media platforms or you know, these digital devices or whatever, and teach them a responsibility aspect of it, because if you don't do that, there's, you know, consequences to using it negatively. Then we might have a chance at winning this fight. Because I think even like with parents that might say, yeah, but, you know, even though they do use these digital tools or whatever devices for educational purposes, you can always monitor it. But a lot of times, let's be honest, parents aren't that involved when it comes to young people and their homework. So, gaan doen jou huiswerk, and then you double check everything later. But you don't know if you've sent them away to go and do their huiswerk for 2 hours. If they're actually doing homework, doing the research they should be doing, or if they are on, you know, what platform, sharing pictures that they shouldn't be sharing, or messaging people that they shouldn't be messaging. You're not keeping track of those things. And children are so tech savvy and smart these days, Rochelle, you won't believe it. So you'll think, okay, I'll check the history, search history. They know how to delete all those things. So like I said, I think this one is a losing battle. It's better to instill in them the responsible use of social media platforms and digital devices. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and maybe also teach them that with social media use comes things like cyberbullying, risky things like seeing online content that is also harmful, that can cause mental health issues and so on. Maybe we can also teach them on such, instead of completely wanting to restrict. Because, that won't
I also think with screen time, because we did say excessive screen time is an issue, especially with younger children, because we know now the little ones, the toddlers and so on, they are the ones that we call them iPad kids, because, you know, parents just give them these iPads to either distract them, or that's where they watch their little cartoons and stuff that they love on there. And I think we've spoken about this last year when we on our hot topic about excessive screen time when they're so young, and I, you know, face the consequences of that, just because how rapid also, for example, some of these apps that have shorts and stuff, and it's 15 seconds, so they're constantly scrolling, and their little brains can't process all of that as quick as an adult brain. So your child ends up having night terrors and stuff like that, and, you know, having really bad sleep patterns, etc. So I think when they're very, very little at that age, toddler stage, then, you know, minimizing screen time, really, it's difficult, but the benefits that it has for your child at the end of the day is incredible.
Worth it.
Yeah, you also realize that if you don't have an iPad kid, that they are not prone to wanting a phone all the time, or even wanting to watch something on the telly all the time. So then you've got a good start, a good, you know, good foot ahead in this digital world that we're living in. Yeah, well, we've asked, of course, the audience to engage us on this topic as well. Rochelle, let's go through what the polls had to say.
So the first poll that we had on was, should Namibia ban social media for children under 15? And the first option was yes, it will protect them, and 342 people voted for it. And the second option was no, teach responsible use instead, and 88 people voted for it.
I think it's a mixture of both for me. Yes, it will protect them if it is banned in some sort of, you know, manner, but also teach them responsible use. Yeah. Next.
The second poll that we had on was, at what age do you think children should be allowed on social media? And the first option was under 13, and only 9 people voted for it. The second option was 13 to 15, and 21 people voted for it. The third option was 16 plus, and 373 people voted for it. And the last option that we had was only with parental supervision, and 89 people voted for it.
I mean, if the ban is enforced, then I do think children under the age restriction for that ban then should be using social media with the supervision of their parents for sure. But if it's now like we're debating, you know, should it be or shouldn't it be, what age children should be allowed to be on social media, I would go even higher than 16. I would, honestly, I mean, if we could, if we lived in an ideal world, children don't need to be on social media. Not at all. So,
Definitely.
I mean, even older than 16, they can wait. Yeah.
And I mean, we also, or if I speak for myself, I had to wait till probably 18 to have a phone and to, you know, start using social media, have social media profiles and so on. So, and I didn't die. I mean, it's fine.
Did you die? No. Yeah. We also asked who should be mainly responsible for regulating children's social media use. And the first option we have there is parents and guardians. 387 people voted for that. Secondly, government, 72 people voted for that. And in the schools, 20 people voted for that. And in social media companies, 95 people voted for that. Who should be responsible for regulating children's social media use? I think it's a combination for me of parents and social media companies.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think, but I think they do that. I don't know how thoroughly though, because if you do sign up for any of these social media pages that are popular, they do ask, are you over 18? So that they, I suppose, know what sort of content to put on, you know, filter you with. I'm not quite sure, but, you know, the people that do these cyber crimes and assault children online and whatever and lure them into spaces and stuff like that, they do find a way of, you know, getting through those cracks and still finding these underage profiles. For example, on my TikTok, I'll see profiles of young children popping up. So I don't know what interests perhaps they clicked on, because you should also like click on what your interests are, etc. That would make them come up on my FYP. So that's concerning, because if I'm like a predator, an online predator, and a young child's profile pops up on my page, I mean, it's just making it easier for me. So I do think that the social media companies need to be a bit more stringent and stricter.
Stricter, yes, definitely. Because I was going to add that even if they do ask, you know, are you older than 16?
You can lie.
I can lie.
How do you know that I'm telling the truth or not?
Exactly.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then lastly, what worries you most about children on social media? Is it the cyberbullying? 168 people said yes to that. Is it harmful or explicit content? 443 people said yes to that. Too much screen time? 140 people said yes to that. Online predators? 144 people said yes to that. We should have asked all of the above.
Yes, because I'm also thinking that.
All of that is concerning, yeah, that, you know, it's
definitely.
cyberbullying that happens on social media. And I mean, not only towards young people itself, towards adults
Yes,
even as well.
definitely.
And adults also cyberbullying.
Each other.
Not only each other, but young children.
Yes.
I've seen young people post what they post, maybe a 9-year-old girl who's doing a get ready with me. And the people in the comments are adults.
Yes.
Why are you using products like that? Why are you even on social media? You shouldn't have nails like that. Like, and so we assume that, you know, the parents behind this, whoever this child is, whoever this child's parents are not involved in their lives, and you know, there's no conversations about, you know, using social or whatever. So adults also bullying young people on social media.
Yes.
Harmful, explicit content, definitely. Too much screen time. I think all of the above.
All of the above,
It's really
please.
a great concern. So I don't know. This will be a nice one to see how it pans out, and you know, if government really does look to roll this out within Namibia. I know that I've seen, I think Sweden, I think France, I think Australia, I'm just off the top of my head,
Yes.
I stand to be corrected, have all in the past couple of months, past 3-4 months, have now banned children under the age of 16 from having social media. I don't know what the consequences are if the child does have a social media and they do find out, is the parent held accountable, what happens, etc. But children under the age of 16 in some countries around the world are no longer allowed to have social media, which is not a bad thing at all.
Yeah, that's not.
Well, that wraps up our hot topic on this Friday evening. From Michelle and I, it's good night. Have a lovely weekend. We'll see you again soon.